Ever catch yourself wondering if you should train a raccoon to become your personal sous chef or teach a penguin how to rap? Random, I know, but stick around because we're about to dive into something even more intriguing. Sometimes, the biggest mysteries aren't found in the animal kingdom, but in the subtle dynamics of dating, especially when there's an age gap involved. Younger women often swear they're looking for maturity and stability in an older partner, but there's a hidden side to what they truly want to hear, something they rarely admit outright. Sure, they'll talk about preferring a man with life experience, someone who's been around the block. But behind all those polite statements, there's a secret wish list of phrases that truly resonate with them on a deeper, more genuine level. Does it come down to wisdom, or just a knack for conversation that isn't all about swiping left and right? Or maybe it's a simple matter of being heard without judgment, an emotional safe haven many older men naturally provide. The truth is, it's a bit more complex. Words have power, especially when they're backed up by real-world experience and a touch of self-awareness. In this video, we're peeling back the curtain on those hidden desires. You might be surprised at how a few well-placed words can spark genuine respect, curiosity, and even a sense of wonder in someone significantly younger. If you've ever felt like your age was a hurdle rather than an asset, hang tight. You're about to see just how much of an advantage your years of life experience can be. Welcome to Masculine Stoic Mind, where we blend time-tested wisdom with real talk on modern relationships. Buckle up, and let's explore the things younger women love to hear from older men, and why they might never come right out and say it. I value your unique perspective. Validating her worldview. Age differences can create an invisible gulf in communication if you're not careful. Older men, with their wealth of life experience, sometimes forget that a younger woman brings fresh eyes and up-to-the-minute cultural insights that can enrich any conversation. Telling her you value her perspective isn't just a kind gesture. It's an invitation for deeper, more meaningful dialogue. Younger women often deal with a world that's rapidly changing, filled with new social trends and evolving technology. By saying, "I value your unique perspective," you acknowledge that her experiences and viewpoints are valid and worth hearing. This simple statement can help break down the stereotype that you see her solely as inexperienced or naive because of her age. Far from taking a paternalistic approach, you position yourself as an equal learner. Even if you've navigated life longer, there's always something new to discover, and younger generations often hold the key to current insights. This level of curiosity shows that your wisdom isn't rigid but adaptable, a trait many younger women find refreshingly different from the usual older know-it-all persona. Stoic principles teach us to remain open-minded, focusing on what we can learn from each new situation rather than clinging to preconceived ideas. By embracing her fresh take on the world, you practice humility and grow your own understanding. This mutual exchange can create an atmosphere of respect, something that transcends any age gap. Moreover, validating her worldview can strengthen emotional intimacy. People generally feel more comfortable sharing their hopes, fears, and aspirations when they sense genuine acceptance. It's not about agreeing with everything she says. It's about acknowledging that her input deserves a place at the table. Finally, expressing that you value her perspective plants the seed for ongoing conversations. Rather than letting a single comment define her, you're opening the door to exploring her thoughts and beliefs more deeply over time. And for a younger woman seeking a partner who listens and learns, that assurance can be a game changer. In essence, "I value your unique perspective" is more than a sweet line. It's a testament to your willingness to meet her halfway. It sets the stage for a respectful, reciprocal relationship that recognizes wisdom has no age limit. It's in the willingness to keep learning. Here's what I've learned over the years. Sharing genuine experience. When there's a notable age difference in a relationship, one of the greatest gifts an older man can offer is his hard-earned wisdom. Yet it's important to strike a balance. No one wants a lecture series on how it's done. Instead, presenting your experiences as stories or lessons learned, rather than strict rules or warnings, can build an atmosphere of mentorship without feeling overbearing. By saying, "Here's what I've learned over the years," you invite her into your world in a way that's both personal and respectful. You're signaling that your insights are not prescriptive, but rather an offering, lessons you've gathered through trial, error, and plenty of real-life challenges. This approach can spark curiosity instead of defensiveness, and that curiosity often paves the way for deeper connection. From a Stoic standpoint, sharing your experiences isn't about bragging or showcasing your superiority. It's about recognizing that personal growth arises from continual reflection on what has worked and what hasn't. By openly recounting your struggles and breakthroughs, you demonstrate humility. You show that you, too, had to learn the ropes and sometimes stumbled along the way, just like anyone else. Another benefit of genuine storytelling is that it humanizes the age gap. Younger women might assume that because you've lived longer, you've somehow figured it all out. However, by describing your mistakes and vulnerabilities, you help dispel the notion that you're untouchable or infallible. This authenticity can foster a sense of safety and closeness, bridging any generational divide. The key is to focus on universal themes: relationships, work, personal growth, rather than specific timelines or rigid opinions. For example, instead of saying, "You have to manage your career like this," you might frame it as, "Here's what I wish I'd done differently when I was in your shoes." This subtle shift in language invites her to relate, rather than feel dictated to. Ultimately, "Here's what I've learned over the years" is an invitation to mutual discovery. It says, "I've been around long enough to gather some insights, and I'd love to share them if they can help you." Younger women often value the sense of emotional grounding and perspective that only comes with time. When offered genuinely and without ego, that wisdom can become a powerful point of connection, one that money or status can't replicate. I respect your independence. Giving space while staying present. Being older often comes with the assumption of taking the lead or controlling situations. But in many cases, younger women are carving their own paths, building careers, and forging identities that demand space for self-discovery. Telling her you respect her independence acknowledges that you don't see her as someone who needs to be saved or molded. It's a recognition that she's capable in her own right. This statement can be surprisingly impactful. Often, younger women worry an older partner might be too set in his ways or expect a more traditional dynamic. Reassuring her that you support her autonomy defies those stereotypes. It tells her you're aware she has her own ambitions and life goals, and you have no intention of stifling them. From a Stoic perspective, respecting someone's independence also means letting go of the urge to control. Instead, you focus on what you can influence, your own reactions, and how you choose to show up in the relationship. This shift in mindset fosters a sense of mutual respect rather than a power imbalance, and it paves the way for open, honest communication. The trick is to balance space with genuine presence. You're not walking away or becoming emotionally distant. You're simply giving her the room to blossom while staying supportive in the background. This is where subtle gestures, like asking how her day went or offering help when she seems overwhelmed, can mean the world, so long as they don't intrude on her independence. When she knows you have faith in her ability to handle her own life, it signals real confidence in who she is as an individual. That trust is often more compelling than any grand romantic gesture. It also sets a tone of equality in the relationship, showing that despite any age gap, you see each other as partners on equal footing. Ultimately, "I respect your independence" communicates emotional maturity. It invites her to pursue her own interests and passions, free from the worry of judgment or possessiveness. And in return, you often receive more appreciation and genuine connection. because she knows she can be herself without fear of being smothered or undermined. You can count on me to listen. Offering emotional support. Active listening is a skill often underestimated but greatly cherished, especially by younger women who might worry an older partner won't be open to hearing their side. By stating outright, "You can count on me to listen," you establish yourself as someone who values genuine communication over quick fixes or dismissive advice. Listening isn't merely waiting for your turn to talk. It's the art of being fully present and open to another person's experience. Younger women often find themselves in a world full of chatter, social media, group chats, rapid-fire text convos, where people speak more than they truly listen. When you set yourself apart by actually hearing her, you create a safe space for vulnerability and honesty. From a Stoic angle, offering emotional support aligns with the principle of empathy. Even though Stoicism is sometimes misinterpreted as being detached, the true practice is about managing your own emotions wisely so you can respond compassionately to others. By managing your reactivity, you're able to be there for her without letting your own ego or assumptions get in the way. This support also promotes balance in the relationship. Younger women might assume an older man has seen it all and might rush to judgment or provide a one-size-fits-all solution. But showing you're ready to understand first, rather than lecture, is immensely reassuring. It proves you value her feelings just as much as your own accumulated knowledge. Being a good listener also means recognizing when she's not looking for a solution. Sometimes, the best way to support someone is simply to validate their emotions. Offering a phrase like, "I hear you, what you're feeling is understandable," can be far more comforting than an immediate plan of action. This nurtures deeper emotional connection and breaks down any generational barriers. Plus, it's important to remember that listening is a two-way street. By giving her room to speak freely, you often receive valuable insights into her world, her passions, her struggles, and her dreams. The more you truly listen, the more she'll feel safe to share, creating a feedback loop of trust and intimacy. Ultimately, "You can count on me to listen" is more than a pleasant promise. It's a commitment. It reassures her that her thoughts and feelings won't be dismissed or minimized, regardless of the age gap between you. That level of emotional support can transform casual dating into something far more meaningful, laying a foundation that helps both of you grow. You inspire me too, showing admiration for her drive. Younger women are often navigating a fast-paced world, balancing careers, social circles, personal goals, and sometimes even side hustles. Telling her she inspires you acknowledges that her energy and ambition aren't just cute or impressive for her age, but genuinely impactful in the grand scheme of life. True admiration means seeing her not as a novice, but as an individual with her own wisdom and drive. Rather than labeling your life experience as inherently superior, you're recognizing that there's something in her spirit you can learn from or be motivated by. This humbles any notion of a power imbalance and underscores a more collaborative dynamic. From a Stoic standpoint, showing admiration for someone else's actions and attitudes can also keep your own ego in check. It reminds you that growth is lifelong, and wisdom can come from surprising sources, even those younger than you. Embracing this mindset not only brings you closer, but it also fosters an environment where knowledge flows both ways. When you let her know she inspires you, you encourage her to keep pursuing her passions. That simple bit of reassurance can be a massive confidence boost, especially if she's at a crossroads or feeling uncertain about her direction. It says, "I see the brilliance in what you're doing," rather than overshadowing her efforts with your own achievements. Of course, sincerity matters. Empty flattery won't cut it. Identify specific examples of what impresses you: her dedication to a creative project, her ability to juggle a hectic schedule, or even how she navigates social situations with grace. These details show you're paying attention to her life and not just tossing out generic compliments. By highlighting the ways she inspires you, you shift the perspective from mentor-mentee to two individuals growing side by side. In doing so, you nurture a sense of partnership that transcends age. That mutual respect and inspiration form the bedrock of genuine connection, one where both parties feel seen, valued, and energized to keep moving forward together. I'm willing to grow alongside you, embracing change and mutual development. While it's often assumed that older men have everything figured out, the reality is that no one ever truly stops evolving. By telling a younger woman you're willing to grow alongside her, you acknowledge that life remains an ongoing journey for both of you. It sends a powerful message that you haven't plateaued in personal development, and you welcome her energy and insights as catalysts for continued transformation. This willingness to adapt, learn, and stretch your comfort zone counters the stereotype of the rigid older man who's stuck in his ways. Instead, you show that you value growth over resting on past accomplishments. Younger women, who are typically in a phase of rapid change, often appreciate a partner who doesn't just tolerate their evolution, but actively participates in it. In a Stoic framework, recognizing you're never done learning is part of cultivating a humble, open mindset. While you have life experience, there's always more to explore: new perspectives, technologies, cultures, and emotional depths. Embracing that reality instead of resisting it can bridge any perceived generation gap, turning the relationship into a collaborative adventure rather than a one-sided arrangement. Also, growing alongside someone involves supporting their aspirations without overshadowing your own. You respect her goals, but you don't abandon your own ambitions either. This mutual support system creates a dynamic where both of you feel bolstered rather than constrained, and the age difference becomes just another facet of a shared path. Finally, stating your willingness to grow alongside her assures her that stagnation isn't an option in your relationship. You're both committed to evolving as individuals, which often translates into a more fulfilling partnership. It's not about chasing eternal youth. It's about realizing that personal growth is a lifetime endeavor, one that thrives best when both people are invested in each other's unfolding stories. So, there you have it. 6 phrases that can resonate deeply with younger women, even if they'd never openly admit it. It's not about playing games or trying to sound cool. It's about connecting on a human level, respecting each other's journeys, and recognizing the wisdom that can be shared across any age gap. When you blend thoughtful words with genuine intention, you create the kind of bond that money, status, or fancy talk simply can't match. But before you head out, let me ask you one more bizarre question. If you had to choose between teaching a flamingo how to juggle pineapples or becoming the world's first underwater motorcycle racer, which path would you take? Life's too short not to entertain a little randomness, right? If today's insights helped you see things in a new light, show some love by liking this video and sharing your thoughts in the comments. And if you're hungry for more discussions on bridging generational gaps with a dash of philosophical wisdom, be sure to subscribe to Masculine Stoic Mind. Keep that open mind, stay curious, and remember, real connection transcends age. Catch you in the next one.